The fans are cheering with that feeling in their stomach that's hard to explain. Morgan Cox will snap it. Bram Cannon will hold. Daniel Lincoln from 45 yards out to win it for the Volunteers. The snap, the spot. The kick is blocked! It is blocked by Alabama! It is blocked by Alabama! The Crimson Tide wins! The Crimson Tide wins! The Crimson Tide wins! Terrance Cody, for the second time, I believe, got a piece of that one. The Crimson Tide wins, and Bama remains undefeated.
Mike Johnson, I hope you're doing well, man. Welcome back into the game here in Tuscaloosa.
Dude, I'm so glad that you said you had hair standing up on your body, because I was thinking the same thing when y'all played that Terrance Cody moment coming back in from the break, man. I had every hair on my body standing up. What an incredible moment, not only in the history of this rivalry, man, but in the history of Alabama football. One of the special moments of my life.
Oh, you know what? And I knew at some point Marquise was going to play it, but I guess, I didn't know what was coming. I assumed he might play it, but I'm telling you, that was just, where were you at? Can you walk us through? And I'm trying to recall, help me out. Where were you at? And kind of walk us through that for a minute from a player perspective.
Yeah, man, listen, I was obviously on the field, and we were trying our best to put together one of those drives that we were so patented at back in 2009, where we took over the fourth quarters. As an offensive line, as a running game with Trent and Mark, we always took pride in taking over those fourth quarters, driving the ball down our opponent's throat. They had first-rounder Dan Williams was a nose tackle that year. Obviously, they had Eric Berry. They had a ton of talent defensively. And I distinctly remember saying, okay, we're going to go out on the field, we're going to put together an 8-minute drive, and we're going to put this game away. And probably the third or fourth play of that drive, I think it might have been the first time that season Mark Ingram fumbled the football, and Tennessee obviously recovered it. They go down and score a touchdown, and then they recover the onside kick. And I remember I didn't even watch the play unfold, Ryan. I didn't watch it at all. I looked towards one of the other jumbotrons. I said, man, I cannot watch this. I'm sick to my stomach. I can't watch this. I was standing next to Drew Davis, and I said, hey, just let me know what happens. Obviously, I'm going to react to what happens. And the entire stadium shook. The probably loudest moment of my career, that entire stadium shook, and we stayed undefeated, man. Like I said, just an incredible moment, not only in that rivalry's history, but in Alabama football history, period. And a moment that I love reflecting on when I look back at my own career.
Mike, this is a hypothetical question, but we talk about 5 out of the last 9 years. I don't think there's any doubt that you guys don't play for the national title. If Terrance Cody doesn't get up and block that kick, does this dynasty get off to a start? I mean, do you think it's just delayed? Do you think it's still the same? Because, this game of football that we love so much is a game of inches, and those fingertips, that the block. Does this dynasty, just your thoughts? I mean, does it get started? I mean, help me.
Yeah, listen, it's a scenario I don't even like to think about, to be honest with you. It was the reality check we needed at the time. I think, we'd kind of cruised through the schedule to that point. And I think that with some of the things we had on the docket, we had an open week the next week, just like this week. And I remember thinking, we're exhausted. We were exhausted as a football team. And I remember thinking, man, we need some time off. I don't know when it's going to come. But obviously we were exhausted in that football game. We're able to piece it together. I don't want to count us out that year. We still did, some good things. We were able to beat LSU later that year. We were able to beat Auburn 35 to, whatever it was. Or actually, that wasn't the 35-0 year. But we were able to beat Auburn that year in Jordan-Hare Stadium. So I don't want to say that it didn't get off to a good start. But it definitely didn't look as good. If you lose that game to Tennessee, a mediocre Tennessee team at best, man, it just I don't even know if I want to go down that road. Ryan.
Okay,
I'm so with you. I'm
with you. It just we yesterday we had a caller that called in and really brought that to my attention. I said, it's such a great point, Mike. Let me just get your general thoughts on this Alabama football team. We haven't had you on in a few weeks, and I know you've launched a big radio show, and we're going to talk about that. But just your thoughts as Alabama heads into this Tennessee week. Your thoughts on the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I don't know that this Alabama football team could have played any better than what the hype was. I don't know that Tua Tagovailoa could have played any better than what the hype was, but they actually have. I mean, they've played better than even what my wildest dreams were, considering the hype that was going in surrounding Tua Tagovailoa after that national title game. I tried to temper expectations, not only for myself, but for other Alabama fans going into the season. I know that, there's probably some people in Tuscaloosa that are doing some of the same things. Hey, listen, this guy, Tua Tagovailoa, is going to be very good, but we haven't seen a huge sample size. And, I kept trying to temper expectations. Hey, let's see what happens. But, man, they have looked incredible. This offensive line unit as a pass blocking unit has looked incredible. The defense is taking their lumps, but right now it's a different style of Alabama football than I've ever seen and I ever thought I'd see, frankly, under Nick Saban. So, you go through the year, you go through the schedule, you get through the first part, and they have blown everybody away. And I'm so excited to be along for the ride with them because I don't know what the end game is, to be honest with you, Ryan. I don't know where this takes us. I don't know what this means for the dynasty. I don't know if this team goes undefeated, frankly. But what the offense has done and what they have unlocked under Michael Locksley and Dan Enos and Tua Tagovailoa and this receiver core, it's nothing short of spectacular. I don't even know if there's enough words for it. It's been unbelievable to watch, and so excited to strap up along with the rest of Bama Nation and watch what the rest of this second half will bring us.
Mike, I picked up on something right there, and if people want to look at my text message, I have not texted Mike to ask him about the offensive line, but you said key in on pass protection. Let's go to the run blocking side of things. Are you pleased with this offensive line on the run blocking?
That's a tough question, right? You know me, I'm a tough grader. I pay attention to this Bama offensive line as much as anybody. I think they've improved from week to week. I as an offensive lineman in Alabama, and I know these guys would say the same thing if they were on with you right now, you take pride in running the ball when the other team does not want you to run the ball. You take pride in running the ball on the goal line. You take pride in the 3rd and 1, the 4th and 1 situation. And I don't know if they have played in those situations, just those situations, some of the short yardage downs, the 4-minute situations, taking the air out of the ball. I don't know if they have played up to Alabama offensive line standards. Now, they have been incredible in pass protection. I mean, Tua's been sacked, 3-4 times on the year. So they've been great in that department. I don't want to take away from the offensive line. I know those guys. I know Brent Key. I know Nick Saban. And I know that if those guys were sitting here talking to you, they'd say, hey, listen, we haven't done it the way we've wanted to. Now, it doesn't mean that they won't. Doesn't mean they don't have the talent to get it done, because I know they do. But those situations and those 4-minute situations, the short yards, Nick Saban, when he sends you out there and he says, hey, we're going to go for it on 4th down because we believe in you, you take pride in that. And, these guys a couple of times have come up short in scenarios like that. And so I want to see that come around before I say, hey, this is the best offense I've ever seen. That's kind of the missing ingredient for me. But I know that there are some guys along that offensive line that can get it done. You got to get the road graders going. I've loved what I've seen from Jedrick Wills. And I've loved what I've seen from Jonah Williams this year. I mean, the guy's going to be a top 10 pick. But those rundown situations are so important, especially as an offensive lineman, that I know that those guys want to be able to get it done on a more consistent basis.
Mike, want to maybe ask you a question that can you take us inside that fraternity following a Tennessee victory of lighting up cigars in that locker room in the fraternity that you guys have, the brotherhood inside that locker room? What's it like? How special of a moment is that to share with your teammates?
Oh man, what a sweet, sweet taste. What a absolute sweet, sweet taste. And one of the things that I miss, Ryan, about playing football, period, doesn't matter, with Alabama and the NFL, whatever, is that brotherhood in the locker room, the thought and the experience that I laid it all on the line. I gave 110% effort. I practiced every day. I ran every day. I completed my 110s. I completed the 4th quarter. I did everything I could with my brothers to try to accomplish the goal. And one of those goals, every single year, no matter how far up you are, no matter how far down they are, or vice versa, is to beat Tennessee and be able to light up those cigars. It's one of those things on the checklist when you start the season. You say, hey, listen, got to cross that off. We got to be able to smoke cigars after that game. And you know a lot of my friends from college. You have a lot of them on the show. Baron Huber, Preston Dial, John Parker Wilson, Corey Reamer, a number of players back from that era that, man, I've got pictures plastered all over my wall. I've got poster-sized pictures. I've got the cigars, some of the ones I didn't smoke. I still have left over. I took a cigar home to my dad one year to allow my dad to feel that tradition. It's such a special thing, and listen, I hope that the Tennessee players don't get to feel it anytime soon, because I take a lot of pride in being able to light those up every year.
Hey, there's no doubt about it. You guys started it many, many years ago, and we're 11 in a row going for number 12, which would break the all-time streak record in this series. Hey, Mike, spend a couple of minutes telling folks what you've started there with Backroads Network, Backroads Sports Network. You've got the show Open Mic. Tell us more and how folks can connect with you. I know they can do it simply on the Twitter account, MP Johnson79, but give us some more information on what you guys have launched there.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do that, Ryan, because one of our bigger listening audience, we're based out of Destin, Florida. One of our bigger listening audiences is over in Panama City Beach. So right now on our website, wearebackroads.com is where you can listen to the shows. Not only that, but we're doing a huge radiothon, a huge fundraiser. The people in the front offices over at Backroads are spearheading the effort to try to take supplies and donations over to Panama City Beach. That's been in the crosshairs for us the last week or so, and will continue to be for the foreseeable future. So my show is on from 9 to noon Central over there in Alabama. You can listen to it on that website. I hope everybody gets the chance, because I love doing it. It's called Open Mic for a reason. Obviously, it's a fun, but, man, it's hey, we take all callers, we take all tweets, and we talk about whatever the topics of the day are, and we have a good time. But that hurricane relief effort is really in the crosshairs for us, and hope anybody that gets a chance will check out our website, our Instagram page over there at Backroads Sports Network. And hopefully, if you get the chance to be a part of some of the donations that we're taking in for those people, they have been ravaged, they have been devastated, and we're going to try to do our part. I'm going to try to continue to do my part on the Open Mic show, and I'm having a blast doing it, buddy.
Well, and we're actually doing something today here in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to get to the details coming up in a couple of minutes. But can you help us? Because you're from that area, man. What's it like? I mean, because most of us have only seen photos. What's the devastation like there?
You know, and I will invite people out there listening to go to our Instagram page, We Are Backroads, at We Are Backroads. A lot of people that are involved in our radio station have been over there. You know, they had a guy come up yesterday. We had somebody on there telling the story. Actually, Tommy Tuberville, as shocking as that is one of the guys helping out down there. There was people that walked up and said, "Hey, I'll give you this out of my house if you'll give me some water." They're offering things as a barter to people that are going over and taking things. There's people literally sleeping under trees, Ryan. There's people that have built makeshift homes under some of the debris. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. There's no fresh water. There's no electricity. It's unbelievable. It's honestly the damage. You can't even explain it. You can't do it justice just with words. So I'll invite anybody out there that needs to see it. Go to our Facebook page, We Are Backroads, or Instagram page, and see some of the videos. It's absolute devastation. There are people that are asking for adult diapers, people asking for any kind of hygiene products, just toothbrush and toothpaste are things that these people don't have. They're going to be another couple of weeks without power. I lived through it. Like you said, I'm from Pensacola. I lived through Ivan in a scenario very similar to that. So I'm continuing to try to do whatever I can, as well as our network is, to try to help those people out, because it's a war zone out there, to say the least. And there's looting going on. It's bad. It's as bad as it can get. And I hope everybody will find it in their heart to be a part of that.
Mike, thank you again for sharing some memories of Alabama Crimson Tide football, man. We love it when you can come on and be a part of our show. We thank you so much. Enjoy the weekend. Find you a good cigar for Saturday afternoon, because I think you're going to be lighting it up around 5:30, 6 o'clock, okay?
I'm planning on it, my friend. Always fun to come on with you, buddy, and good to talk to you, Ryan.